According to Statistics Canada, in 2016, the counted population of Kelowna was 127,380, an 8.6% change from 2011. The provincial average at the time was 5.6%, and the national average 5.0%. With a gorgeous waterfront and breathtaking scenery, Kelowna seems to be a hotspot destination for tourists and business owners alike from across the country and all over the world. According to the 2018 homeless count, there were 286 persons experiencing homelessness in Kelowna, a 23% increase from the last survey in 2016. The October National Rent Report, produced by Rentals.ca and Bullpen Research and Consulting, ranked Kelowna the 5th most expensive city in British Columbia to rent an apartment. The Supportive Housing Registry for BC Housing has over 500 people on waitlist for units in Kelowna. On Leon Avenue, a street downtown, there are encampments of persons experiencing homelessness. Law enforcement can only do so much in constantly moving or finding persons breaking bylaws such as sitting or sleeping on city sidewalks. However, this doesn't seem to bring a solution to the problem, especially for the people who call the streets their home. There is an urgent need to provide more homes for people in Kelowna. In 2012, Kelowna had the highest reported crime rate in Canada, 8,875 per 100,000 people. The property crime rate went up 6% in 2017, once again the highest in Canada. Today, there are several outcries and complaints from some city residents claiming to be a victim of vandalization and property theft. It is not crystal clear what the cause of the spike in property crime is, but many would attribute the problem to the opioid crisis. This has stirred a huge petition against wet housing facilities.
Hi, I'm Jesse, born and raised in Kelowna, BC. And what I'm trying to do today is start an outreach program for the homeless community. And the last 4 months I've been trying to get this program up and going.
So what kind of challenges have you experienced so far with this project?
So that'd be trying to find donations, fundraising. I do have a few ideas for some fundraising ideas that hopefully I'll get going as soon as possible.
How do you plan to do this fundraising for your project?
At the moment, I have an idea for barbecues and raffles for miscellaneous things.
And do you think you're going to be able to show us some of these areas where you hand out some of your works for the homeless population?
Of course, we'll go down and check out some of the usual places they like to hang out. City Park and some of the alleyways. What I do is I hand out certain stuff like toothbrushes, toothpaste, some toiletries.
Yeah.
I have lots of stuff for the females too.
Of course.
So I'm hoping to get more funding so I can get some clothing and stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully we find somebody up here.
Yeah. Are there usually a lot of people around this area?
Usually, this is like where they like to kind of hang out, camp out, depending on the situation, if it's cold, warm. We might just be able to find somebody. Hang out. Behind us is one of the shelters, and this is where I'd be dropping off supplies. It's close to all the amenities of downtown. You know, you got where they could chill down at the beach or go down to the food bank. It's all pretty close. So I'm just going to take you down this way. It's usually really bad for visual sight because a lot of people are at high risk for overdose. Down this way, I've actually had to deal with an overdose. The gentleman was okay after about 3 Narcan shots. What I like to do is to go down these alleys, down the parkades. Like we have the parkade down there, we have another parkade over this way. Down back that way was good spots for, you know, high-risk people because of overdoses. So it's always a good idea to go down there, check it out, make sure everybody's okay, hand out some toiletries, stuff like that.
With the construction of the supportive housing unit at 130 McCurdy Road, there's been lots of debate as to how this facility would be run. What we do know is information sourced off of bchousing.org. Applicants to this facility would undergo a thorough assessment. Residents would have access to outreach workers, wellness checks, life skills training, employment assistance, connection, and referral to community services and support groups. Residents will also have access to counseling as well as health, mental health, and addiction recovery services. The property and its immediate area will be regularly swept to ensure cleanliness. More critically, this building would be equipped with security cameras and would only be accessible via fob. With security cameras being a distinct feature of this proposed structure, we should not anticipate this building to be a haven for stolen property or crime, as has been the unwarranted worry for many in the Rutland neighborhood. Most importantly, this facility would be run by the Canadian Mental Health Association, an experienced organization that has been housing the city's vulnerable since 1999. The Canadian Mental Health Association currently runs 4 supportive housing structures within the city.
So what are your thoughts on supportive housing?
I don't really have very much experience in the supportive housing. We do need a lot more of it, that is for sure. And we also do need more help with people in addictions is a big part too.
Should these protests against supportive housing structures result in the total cease to the ongoing projects, there wouldn't seem to be much hope for the homeless population. With the re-election of the Liberal Party into power, we can only hope they stay true to their word. That is, a $20 billion proposal for social infrastructure, inclusive of affordable housing and facilities for seniors. The indigenous Syilx people were the first inhabitants of this region. For this reason, we acknowledge this production to have been filmed on their unceded territory.